Good morning and welcome to another Facebook Live session with ASL's Managing Director Jason Perry and myself. My name's Sarah. So every Saturday morning we get together and we have a discussion about COVID-19 and how it affects employees and temporary workers, the various issues around furlough, holiday pay, whistleblowing, and all of those sorts of things. We're going to touch on that today, but we'd really like to focus on the COVID crisis and how ASL as a recruitment agency has adapted so that they can better serve both their clients and their candidates. Now, the managing director there at ASL is Jason Perry, and he is a chartered fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, and he's also an HR specialist. So he's well placed to answer any questions people may have. And the great thing about ASL is that they really do take their ethos very seriously, that people make the difference. And therefore, they have adapted their systems to make a difference to you, the candidate. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Jason Perry in so he can tell us a bit more about what's been going on. Jason, are you there?
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Jason. And how are you?
I'm very well. You?
Very well, thank you. Are you rested after your break last week? Because we weren't here last week.
I am. I had a lovely couple of days in Wales. Sadly, the beautiful weather is this weekend and not last weekend, but I had a very nice couple of days in Wales.
Fantastic. Okay, now let's see. We've got quite a bit going on behind the scenes at the moment with ASL, haven't we? So there's a new website in the offing, and that's going to make a big difference to your candidates, isn't it?
There is. And I touched on this when we spoke 2 weeks ago. And I'd hoped that everything would be fully live by now, and I did hint at that. Sadly, there have been a couple of delays, but we've got part of the system up and running as of yesterday, and we've messaged around 50 of our candidates so far and told them about the new system. And what we can now do, candidates can log on to their profile, their record that we run at ASL, from their mobile phone or from the web, and they can update us on, they can update their CV, they can tell us about their career history, their skills, when they're available, what sort of work they're looking for. They can see all our jobs. So it really is a huge advance in the way in which we work.
That sounds great. It's almost like they can create a profile the same way as they did when they started on Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that.
Absolutely, Sarah. I mean, it's kind of the level of information you might have on a job board, but the candidate can log in and maintain it. Now, really what this is about, as we went into the COVID crisis, any business needed to look at how it operated and work out what its weaknesses were. Ours were, as a people business, we've built ourselves up on being the agency that actually meets you. I think on our previous marketing details, it said, we always meet every single candidate. And we were very proud of that. And the candidates that had been in and seen us and worked with us know that type of point. And suddenly we found we couldn't do it. So what we've done, we've started meeting people on Zoom. And that's great. We've got temps out who we've met via Zoom. We've never met, but that brings a range of problems. Things like, we normally ask candidates to fill in registration forms and talk them through what they've done. We normally ask a candidate when we place them in a temporary role to fill in a bank form, and we want your signature on the end of a bank form, so we really know it's you and somebody else hasn't fraudulently popped a form in the post and said, oh, can you pay Sarah's wages into this account this week? Because we have to look after our people. So we've had to review a lot of systems, and we've really embraced the technology out there. Anyone who started work for us in the last couple of weeks will have noticed they've probably had an email asking them to electronically sign a bank form. So we've invested in some technology that effectively, without getting too technical, it traces where you are in computer terms, your IP address, which computer you signed it from, when and where. So it's widely used in industry for major contracts, but we've just started using it for things like bank forms, things like tax documentation. So we can move forward and get people's details. And I guess what we've done with the new, I say website, it's part of the website, And you can log into it now at jobs.aslrecruitment.co.uk. It will be fully operating as part of the website within the next couple of weeks, but right now candidates can log into it at that jobs.aslrecruitment.co.uk site, and they can maintain everything about them, keep this record up to date, see what jobs we've got, look at their history of where they've worked with us. It's just all there.
And so they'll actually be able, so if somebody does a new qualification, because it seems like a lot of people have taken the downtime to sort of upskill, shall we say, so they can actually update that as they go along. And then if that affects which jobs are suitable for them, they then get another kind of message to say, actually, we've got this job here and this might suit you. Is that how it works?
Absolutely, Sarah. They can update their CV and change the CV they have with us. We had one candidate who logged in within about the first 20 minutes yesterday, which is very rewarding for us, who popped in, put a photo of her on the site. So, again, you've got that visual reminder when you actually open a candidate's record and go, yes, that's Sarah, I remember. But yes, if you during COVID have decided to go and do a forklift license or upped your Sage skills, literally you can log in and change that, and it means new roles will pop up and become available to you. But basically, the more we know about you, the more we know about our candidates, the better we're able to help them. But it's not just about us finding the jobs for you, it's actually set up so everything we put on there, you can have searches on there, so if a job that matches your criteria, you'll get an alert too. So if there's something we're looking for tomorrow and it happens to match exactly what you do, yes, hopefully we'll find you for it, but you'll get a message and go, oh, here's a new job. Do you want to ring Jason about it? So that's a great advance in technology, and we're really putting the power, shall we say, with the candidate so they can use this.
It also
I'm
means
excited, as you might be able to tell by the way I'm talking about it. A lot of work has gone into this, but it's a very exciting new system.
It's also great because it means, presumably, because the system is now automated in that way, that people will be notified and they'll be able to jump on the opportunity far quicker. And sometimes time really is of the essence, isn't it, when you're applying, especially as, shall we say, the job market gets tighter. And there are fewer jobs available, the people who act the fastest are going to be the ones with the better opportunity of actually securing the role, aren't they?
Well, I think you're right, but that's half of it. Yes, we may have less jobs, but one of the really sad things of this crisis is we've got higher unemployment. Now, we were at a point before we went into this in January. I gave a presentation in February to a group of employers in Hastings, where one of the things we were talking about was how we've got record low unemployment, the lowest it's been, I think it was either since 1971 or 1974, I forget which, but that's pretty much all of my life. So we were at a record low in unemployment levels, and we're now about to be, I would say, at a record high. So the reality is, any role we have got, it's not just you that's applying for it now. There will be more people wanting that job than ever. And one of the things we can do, we can create, I'll call it a talent pool, of people who are looking for a particular job. Let's say you're an experienced warehouse supervisor, and I might have 50 of those on our database. But what happens when we get the warehouse supervisor vacancy coming and we put it on our system? We can immediately push a button that sends you and the other 49 people a message saying, ASL have a new vacancy. So rather than us trying to phone those 49 people, we can push the data out to you. Yes, we can still pick up the phone, but we're giving more power to the candidate. And that's why I'd urge everybody to log in and get that profile up to date. It will give you more opportunities and maximise your chance of getting into the role.
Fantastic. So what else is the system going to allow you to do? I think there's electronic timesheets now as well.
Well, there's various parts we've done. The bit that we've just released allows you to maintain your own profile, and as of yesterday, you can actually even now register completely with us online. So if you go to that jobs.aslrecruitment.co.uk site, there's a register button, and every question we'd have asked on our paper registration form if you'd come in the office is now online, and you can build your own profile and register with us. So that's one thing. One of the other things, separate system, I mentioned we have electronic signatures. So again, anyone we put out, we can get signatures dealt with that way. But we're also trialling alongside this electronic timesheets. And we've got 2 clients currently we're working with on this. I think we've got about 8 temps who are currently doing electronic timesheets. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we intend to scale that up and put it out to everybody. But simply, you can do it from your smartphone, you log in and you put how many hours you've worked today. When you've finished, you press a submit button at the end of the week, and your supervisor, the client you're working for, just receives an email asking them to authorise it. So by the time we come to do payroll on Monday morning, we've got all the data. But what it means is we don't have to hand bits of paper around. That, we're all trying to socially distance, and again, this is what's driven it for us. I don't want you having to try and reach across the room and hand me a timesheet whilst keeping your 2-metre distance from me so I can make sure you get paid. We're trying to make your life easier and safer. So yeah, we've done that, and anyone who's been temping for us over the past 2-3 months has already seen that we've moved away from paper-based pay slips. So every one of our temporary workers also now has an online portal. They can log in and get their pay slips. Sadly, when they leave, their P45, but they're, whatever tax documentation they need. So we've been doing quite a lot with technology.
Yes, absolutely. And thank goodness for it.
It's kept me very busy over the past 2 or 3 months, I can tell you, but it's a series of really exciting changes that should help.
Excellent. So there are more things on the horizon, because you said you're not quite there yet. So is there any more?
I did mention that we had hoped for the full website to go live. I'd aimed for it to be last week. We have had a delay. Sadly, when you try and do a major technical project like this, it doesn't always go quite as smoothly as you like. I'm hoping now that maybe the end of next week, the beginning of the following, we should see the website change. Those people who are logging into our new system are seeing, again, what I think is quite an exciting new identity of ASL. That lovely logo I can see up in the corner of this screen, the ASL with a pink tick in it. It's wonderful. It's been our identity for about 20 years, but we've modernised it. So we have a new logo that you'll see on the new portal and coming through on the electronic timesheets in about a week's time, maybe a little over. That will be on the website.
Okay, so yes, it'll be nice to sort of push that out and sort of get everybody acquainted with it, because it's a refresh, but it still holds to the ideas of inclusivity, really.
Absolutely, we're the same people, the same organisation. The focus is on caring and getting it right. But essentially, the logo we've got was designed in the 1990s, and it was designed for print media. We're having to do so much online that it needed a little bit of a refresh. So yeah, new website, new logo. We've been going through a lot of change.
New website, new logo, but still the same values, still
absolutely.
The same. So people will still recognise the feel of ASL.
Totally.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, that's about all we have time for. That's gone rather fast today, Jason. But that's probably because you're so excited about it, which is great to see. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining us, and to everybody there at home watching us, thanks very much for coming online and having a look, seeing what we're talking about. We hope that you will give, if you're a candidate with ASL, or if you would like to be a candidate with ASL, we hope you'll jump onto the portal. What was the URL for it again, Jason?
It's jobs.aslrecruitment.co.uk.
jobs.aslrecruitment.co.uk. Okay, so do jump on there, register, try it out, fill everything out, and join the ASL family. So yes, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We will see you again at the same time next week. If you have any questions, do either email the group at hastings@aslgroup.co.uk or give them a call on 01424 452 999. There will be people there who will be waiting to take your call and answer any questions that you have. So, thank you very much indeed, Jason. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
And
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.